Today I'm just playing around with oil pastels and colored pencils to see what I can create. This was the first piece that I created, but I'm going to walk you through how I just let go, play around, and just have fun with some mark making to see what I can create. And I hope you join me. Today is a day where I want to just take some time and practice loosely drawing faces and mark making at the same time. So I'm going to be using my pencil. It's a dark pencil, 6B, to just randomly practice loosely drawing faces and then getting maybe colored pencils and maybe oil pastels and doing some mark making. I've been doing a lot of videos on drawing faces and using oil pastels, but I think I just feel like doing like just a practice session, just an enjoyable drawing session and playing around and seeing what comes out without getting too caught up in the details. And so this is just going to be a fun drawing session for me, and I invite you to join me if you want. I think this is one of my favorite books that sort of gives me inspiration to let go and draw whatever I feel like it. Look, I mean, this is a person, like a head with a house on top of it. I mean, there's so many creative people out there drawing and creating whatever they feel like without fear. I love all the details of this one. I'm just going to get into the creative flow and see what I can create. I really just want to not focus on details, play around and see what I can create quickly and loosely. If you have an art journal, you should be playing around and just having fun. And I love shapes, and so that's what I'm doing here, is just some simple shapes and maybe some squiggly lines. And just see what you can do. Part of the thing about playing around is just letting go of your own expectations. I see a lot of artists doing these fun shapes, and I've used them before, and there's just something, I just really love playing with colors and shapes, but also drawing faces. So how do you combine them? And just pick any color that you want, especially when it comes to faces, because a lot of times people want to draw realistically, you know, the colors of a face. And that's not always, you know, fun for me personally. I want to get some... I love how the oil pastels, I don't know, I said they're like crayons for adults, really. And I love the way they blend. And I'm just using regular sketch paper. And once you start letting go, fun things happen. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I know that every artwork doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Sometimes you just want to have fun and see what comes out, because then your style comes out. Even if your style is a little wonky and weird, which I know mine is a little bit different. But I don't mind. And sometimes it's fun to just play with color. And now I'm just playing around, not worrying too much about anything. And now I'm just using colored pencils because I want to have some mixed media and see how that looks. And I don't know if I want to color everything in. And maybe make some patterns. I kind of like this for scratching things off, but also coloring over my oil pastels. And this is just a study of you know, using different materials and a study of colors and playing around and seeing what evolves. But this is super fun. Sometimes it's just about the textures really than anything else. Okay, I just had to move it around a bit so that you can get a better view of it and I can still draw without being impacted by my camera. So I have my oil pastels out. I'm using colored pencils. I like the way that looks. I think I also am learning that I like when I'm doing my oil pastels, I like these colored pencil marks and just going really freely into it. And I'm trying not to think too much about it, but I really want to focus on letting loose. And so now I'm just going to try to draw some circles. Sometimes I find if I'm thinking too hard, I try to go for perfection, and that's not what I want. I like the way that kind of blends in together. That's interesting too. So part of just playing around and letting yourself be free to experiment with your art is to see what comes out and what you like, without getting caught up in making mistakes. So that's what a sketchbook should be. I kind of like the blending here. I actually feel like I like this pink and orange color. And I'm not sure what I want to do with that, but maybe I'm just going to do this, and then maybe I'll get a lighter, I had a lighter pink, I thought. I want to add a little lighter pink and see how that looks. I'm not sure how I like it on the blue. And again, just mark making. Sometimes it's about the mark making and just seeing what comes out. But I kind of wanted to now I want some purple. Let's see. I have the light purple there, so I'm just going to see what the... Nah, I don't care for that. I have a really nice color with the Faber-Castell, and I'm not sure how that's going to... Oh, it works pretty well on top. It's kind of similar to this color, but a little bit pinkier. And your art doesn't have to make sense, does it? It doesn't. And you don't have to show it to anyone. I'm just out here doing my thing, seeing what happens, and kind of really enjoying this look. I'm really enjoying layering these oil pastels on. And I think I want a really nice light color for here. And I don't really know what I'm doing on this side, except pushing the oil pastels around and seeing what happens, which I'm really enjoying this messiness. But if you watch my videos, you know that I like messy. I don't necessarily like things that are perfect. And part of it is just playing around, and that's what I'm doing. This is super fun. I really hope you guys try this, because this, I don't know, there's something fun about this. Just making a mess and not caring. And this is good paper. I was using mixed media paper before, and with some of the stuff I was doing before. And actually, once again, the Hilroy is incredible for basically everything that I use, and it's so inexpensive. It's Canadian, so I think there's a lot of places that you can't find it, but I know it's on Amazon because I bought some on Amazon when I go to the store. I can't find them this big, so I got it on Amazon. So you could find this on Amazon, but this is just really inexpensive sketching paper. So you can probably get just cheap sketching paper and play around and see what you can create. But for me, like, I don't think I need fancy, expensive paper, especially if you're playing around. And that's all I'm doing here. And I'm having such a good time with this. I think I'm going to do this regularly because I'm giving myself permission to sort of really play around and make a mess. Now I've got the white out, the white oil pastel, and I'm just kind of try to blend it together. But again, I don't want to try to make sense of it. I really, really like that. I might even be finished. I'm not sure. Let's see. You know, I like to top things off with the black. So I'm going to. It's funny because I saw this artist talk about, a lot of artists talk about not using black right out of the tube or just not using black at all. And I'm trying to understand that. And I understand that, yes, you can't have a bunch of, like black looks flat to a lot of people, but I just love how it looks. I love the contrast, I think, of the black. And so I just like the way it pops. Now her eyes aren't, again, I don't want to beat myself up, but they're not quite even. They look almost cross-eyed. I definitely think I like the bold look of a black mark on my paper. So I'm just going to keep going because actually I really like that. And I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, I didn't expect that. I definitely love a pop of contrast color like black. And I also just like the unexpected. I like this, whatever's going on here. And I really like this. I wonder if, I don't know if I want to play with this anymore. I really like it. Now, if I had colored pencil, how does that look? I like messy lines. I like the scribbly look. I think it adds character. I wonder if I could, kind of scrapes it away. Yeah, I really like the look of this. This was really fun. I highly recommend getting your art supplies out and just playing around and seeing what you could create. Whether you're inspired by your art supplies, certain colors, books like this, The World of Artist Journal Pages. It's just nice to get your art supplies out and make marks and see what you like and what brings you joy. This is the final drawing. I had so much fun with just, I don't know, playing around, letting loose, seeing what comes out, and just practice some mark making and letting go. I think when you let go of your own expectations and really embrace experimenting and making a mess, you can actually create something really fun that you personally enjoy doing and love looking at. And that's how I feel about this piece and the more subtle piece here. I'd love to hear from you guys what you are working on and if you're practicing making a mess with me and drawing faces. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy sketching.